Let's get back on topic, shall we? Miles or rides? And let me explain where I'm coming from with this. What makes you miles or rides? What makes you a more experienced motorcyclist? I have my opinion, and I think I know what the answer is. But as anything and with anything goes, my opinion is my opinion. You're welcome to your own opinion. I believe that rides would make a better motorcyclist. With a caveat. Let's talk about it. So, I could go out being a new rider if I were. I'm not, but I could be. I was once. Right? I could go out and spend money on a new motorcycle or used motorcycle. Get that motorcycle, never having ridden many miles at all in my riding career, other than maybe getting my license and stuff like that. And I could head off across country to Alaska or whatever, let's say. Probably wouldn't, but I could. And I could just, if I had no work or anything, I could just keep riding back and forth and, you know, put 10,000 miles on a bike. That's a big fucking gun. Choo-choo trains. And only have the experience of that one trip of 7,000 miles, where most of it probably highway, right? And highway miles are different than back road miles and side street miles and town miles. Those all enter into how much of a rider, what kind of a rider you are in the grand scheme of things. All of our experiences shape us, right? No matter if it's in life or riding. But let's say I had a new bike and I'd never ridden and I just went on a 7,000 mile trip. So I have 7,000 miles on my belt, mostly highway miles. I make it alive, make it home alive. And I call myself a motorcyclist. I've got 7,000 miles under my belt. Take a different person who's owned a motorcycle for 5 years, has done the same amount of miles, doesn't ride a whole lot but gets out and rides, done 7,000 miles on his bike, but has done this over a period of, let's do 2 years. Takes another person who's taken 7,000 miles over the previous 2 years of their life and also has the same amount of mileage. Who has the more experience? Who has possibly had more involvements with things? Who would be a better rider if all things were equal on their ability to, think on their feet, hand-eye coordination, all that? I would say the person with 7,000 miles and 2 years of riding over the person with, obviously, a week or 2 or 3 weeks with 7,000 miles, same amount of miles, because they just basically take a highway. But chances are the person who did the 7,000 miles with 2 years of riding has taken numerous rides in different locations, be it highways, back roads, side streets, whatever the case may be. I would assume that that person's skill level would be leaps and bounds above a person who just did the same amount of miles in a shorter period of time, because they're going to base it off all the different experiences they've had while riding a motorcycle. Therefore, they're probably going to be a better motorcyclist because they're going to have seen a lot more things during their period, because even though they've done the same amount of miles, they've had to get to those miles, they've had to experience a lot of different things. I mean, I could go on a trip for 7,000 miles and just experience highway only, never experience one issue, and, yeah, you have more miles under your belt, but are you a better rider than the person who took 7,000 miles? I myself, I lay down a lot of miles a year, in my opinion. Not maybe an opinion, somebody's retired and doing 40, 50, 60,000 miles, but you know, I usually get around 14 to 20,000 miles a year on my bike. Except for when COVID hit, that's kind of screwed things up. And I also do that over a period of a lot of rides. But if I just did, cause I learn something every time I ride. Every time I go out and ride, I learn something new. So had I learned it's a weird looking thing. Had I learned everything in a 20,000 mile ride that I just did over a period of a month and a half, where I just took a couple rides and kept going back and forth, 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 and back and forth. Oh, I wouldn't be the same rider I was if I did that, as opposed to how I've ridden. So, not a great topic, not a horrible topic. Could be a great topic. No, it's a topic. But this is Moose in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, riding on his way to the Porcupine Mountains, saying keep it safe out there. I will talk to you all later. Hey, thanks for listening. Blast from the past. Moose Rider. A shadowy figure on a one-lane road with 2 tires, a backache, and a pair of handlebars, on his way to see things that other people have seen before. To experience things in a new way, a new form, a new wise. I will be that moose, taking a trek across the Michigan landscape on his way to experience a camping trip like no other in the Porcupine Mountains of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. That was off the top of my head. Aren't I a genius? Okay then. I shall talk to you later. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.